Carolina Storyteller tells stories that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Stay spooky, my friends. Welcome back to the show, folks. I'm Jonathan Phoenix, your Carolina Storyteller, and this is the Carolina Storyteller. We are 1 week closer to the 50th episode. This is episode 48, so we've got next week, and then boom, we're there. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. As you know, I've been kind of on a Russian kick for the past few episodes. You know, we did the Ghost of Chernobyl, and then we just did the Dyatlov Pass in the last episode. So I'm going to stick with the Russian theme for this episode. But before we get to that, I want to remind you guys that if you go to thecarolinastoryteller.com, you can get access to all of our merch and everything and find all of the cool stuff. We now have hats, t-shirts, a Lavanya framed t-shirt. It's all there. You can find it all. And there's still time to subscribe at the Patreon, patreon.com/The Carolina Storyteller. Just Google The Carolina Storyteller. You'll find all this stuff. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get signed up for ad-free episodes, all kinds of bonus content, and if you're there before the 50th episode, you're in the drawing for our big giveaway. Books, t-shirts. No, wait, I don't know if I have a t-shirt yet, but I've got hats. I've got CDs. I've got a dragon wall-mounted trinket holder that has been donated. All kinds of stuff that's coming from all of our guests and from us here at the Carolina Storyteller that could be yours if you just subscribe. So get on over to Patreon and become part of the community and get your chance to win some of these great prizes. Now, on to this week's story. I really love folklore. You guys know that. I grew up around folklore. I grew up with stories like the Buhag and Haints and the Plaid Eye. All these, cultural folk stories that have just been there for forever. Things like skinwalkers. These are all stories that have been around for so long. And Russia is no different than us in having these stories. And one of the biggest ones is Baba Yaga. Now, no, I'm not talking about John Wick. I'm talking about the original Baba Yaga, the great witch who lived in the woods and in some essences is supposed to fry and eat chicken, and in other essences she helps a hero out. Baba Yaga has a very varied and wide story based on the different areas of Russia that she lives in. Sometimes she is helpful, and sometimes she is not so much. But there are some consistencies. First of all, let's talk about the biggest thing with Baba Yaga is Baba Yaga's hut. Baba Yaga is said to live in a hut that walks around on chicken legs. Yes, you heard me right. Baba Yaga's house stands on 2 chicken legs, and it travels through the forest with her. So Baba Yaga's already in a mobile home. She's basically RVing it during, centuries ago. She was the first RVer. Baba Yaga was a trendsetter and a hipster way before her time, I guess. And Baba Yaga's hut is very interesting because it's kind of like the Doctor Who's TARDIS in the fact that it is bigger on the inside. While from the outside it looks like a very simple one-room hut just on giant chicken legs, on the inside it is vast and large. If you were to enter Baba Yaga's hut, you might find her over her stove, cooking. And of course, those that would visit her, she could always tell when you had that Russian smell. I'm not sure what the Russian smell meant, but I'm assuming that it meant she knew if you were Russian or not. And maybe she was nice to Russians and not nice to everybody else. It was said that Baba Yaga also traveled by way of a mortar. If you're wondering, a mortar is the thing that you used to use to grind up medicine. It was also a tool used by witches in magic rituals to grind up herbs and different vegetation to be used in the creation of tinctures and potions and magic making of all kinds. So it is interesting. Baba Yaga is mentioned in many different versions of Slavic and Russian history, and she is even placed upon the same pedestal with the other Slavic gods. But what is interesting is that when they went and kind of compared her up and paired her off with the Nordic gods and the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods, and tried to say, here's this pantheon, and this is kind of who this person would be, this is who this person would be, Baba Yaga stands on her own. She is a unique, singular entity, not comparable with any of the other gods from any other religion. She is simply Baba Yaga. Now, it is said that Baba Yaga would travel through the woods, and occasionally it is rumored that if you were in the woods and did something wrong, Baba Yaga would come for you as a child. She was said to snatch children up, chasing them down by riding in her mortar and wielding the pestle from the mortar over her head as a weapon. And it's not maybe because it was to, kind of deter people from witchcraft. They would turn something that was used primarily in the creation of medicine and in ritualistic use into a deadly weapon wielded by a psychotic child-killing hag. That would, deter people from casting magic. But, that's only one version of the folklore of Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga's folklore goes a whole lot further than that. It's also said that there are 3 Baba Yagas: a crone, a maiden, and a mother. And if you know anything about the aspects of magic, the crone, the maiden, and the mother are supposed to be the 3 versions of witches. The crone being the old woman, the mother being the woman of motherly age, and the maiden being the young woman. There is a story about a young man who travels through the woods to ask Baba Yaga a question. And as he journeys, he finds the first Baba Yaga, the crone. He walks into her hut, even though it's on chicken legs. I'm not sure how he got up there. And Baba Yaga comments on his Russian smell, that if asked if he was there of his free will or compulsion by the god or by youth. He says, I'm here for my own free will, and asked where the thrice 10th kingdom lie. I don't know why he was looking for the thrice 10th kingdom. I don't know what the thrice 10th kingdom is. But he asked Baba Yaga if she knew. And she said, no, I do not. But perhaps my sister knows. You should go further into the woods. So he continued further into the woods, where he happened upon the middle Baba Yaga in a small hut. Again, she talked about his Russian smell, asked if he was there of his own volition. Again, he said, yes, I am, but I must know, do you know where this kingdom lies? And she goes, no, I do not, but perhaps my other sister does. She is the youngest. But if you go to her, be careful, because she may try to devour you. And if she does, you must take 3 horns from her and ask her permission to blow them. Blow the first one softly, the second one louder, and the third louder still. Ivan continues on his trek, goes to the third sister, and of course the third sister sees him, mentions the Russian smell, and then goes, I'm going to eat you. Ivan begs her for the 3 horns, which she gives him, and then begs permission to blow them. He does as he was told, blowing the first soft, the second louder, and the third louder yet. And this causes birds to kind of swarm all around Baba Yaga's hut. And among them is a massive firebird or phoenix. And the phoenix calls to Ivan and says to jump on my back or Baba Yaga will eat you. And as he jumps on the back, Baba Yaga rushes and it takes off with him on its back, and Baba Yaga ends up just sitting there with a fistful of firebird feathers. And of course, Ivan never finds out where this kingdom is. And I believe the moral of the story was searching for this kingdom was supposed to be for naught. Baba Yaga has supposedly captured people in the woods. Baba Yaga supposedly offers aid to those that are lost. Baba Yaga guides the hero on his path. Maybe the idea that there are 3 Baba Yagas does make sense. I mean, after all, the idea that one is helpful, one will feed you, and the other one will kill you kind of makes a lot of sense. But that's the great thing about folklore, isn't it? Is that there's so much to the story, so much more than you would ever think. Still, I think the best version of Baba Yaga is this version, the 3-sister version, where the older sister doesn't know anything, neither does the middle sister, so the younger sister must know, which is kind of the opposite of what you would think. But then again, this is what happens with mythical creatures, is that perhaps they age in reverse. Perhaps the younger sister is the oldest one. Baba Yaga's got a whole bunch of things going on with her, and I would definitely recommend you going and digging a little further yourself to find out more about Baba Yaga. That's our story for today, folks. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are fans of the Russian triple. I don't know, how many Russian stories have we done now? 3? Yeah, the 3 Russian stories. This was all I had from Russia. I might go back out to the motherland and see if I can find anything else from our Soviet cousins across the way that might be equally as entertaining as the stories that we've gotten from there this month. But I don't think we can really beat Baba Yaga. I mean, that's just an awesome one. But who knows? I mean, it's Russia. They always do everything better. There could be one where a bear is riding a Baba Yaga. I don't know. I haven't explored the folklore enough. Thanks for listening. Remember, go over to patreon.com/The Carolina Storyteller. Sign up for the 50th episode. I'd love to have you. You can get access to all the episodes ad-free. You can get some exclusive episodes. You can see all kinds of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Find out about the secret project that might be going on, might not be going on. Won't know until after the 50th episode, I guess. And all kinds of stuff. So, thank you for listening to The Carolina Storyteller. It's always a pleasure, as always. And remember, stay spooky, my friends.
If you like paranormal, true crime, and some cryptids, or just anything weird, check out Ouch! Was That a Ghost? Brought to you by your host, Liz. You can find Ouch! Was That a Ghost on Spotify, Apple, or any audio platform. New episodes drop every Thursday.